The Jaguars haven't ruled out Trevor Lawrence for week number 14. Kind of an odd twist to this. I don't think he plays, but you never know. Sometimes these injuries look way worse than they do. First report we got was that things were not as bad as they seemed. Although, I said it on the live stream. How come they didn't get this man a cart? You literally make your star quarterback walk all the way down the field, through the tunnel, to the locker room, continue to have him limp on this leg, and potentially cause further swelling. That little walk that they ushered him through could have cost him another couple days, to be quite honest with you. Ridiculous. But according to The Athletic, Jaguars have not ruled out Trevor Lawrence. We'll talk about it now. Also, Rhamondre Stevenson out multiple weeks. I think he's probably done for the entire fantasy football season, which means Zeke Elliott is very valuable right now. But is he the most valuable player on the waiver wire maybe in your league? We're going to talk about all that and more. The Fantasy Football Show begins now, broskies. File on in.
FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Trevor Lawrence, maybe not capable of playing in the next game or two. We'll find out. But according to this report from NBC Sports, The Athletic is reporting that the Texans have not yet ruled out the Jaguars have not yet ruled out Trevor Lawrence for week number 14, who suffered an ankle injury, a high ankle sprain, which was confirmed to be the injury. Although it's unlikely, the Jaguars are holding out hope that Lawrence can give them a go in week 4, can give it a go in week 14, according to How, the writer of this article. Lawrence will be receiving around-the-clock treatment. You bet he will. To help his ankle sprain. They'll probably soak it in Law Dog milk to help speed up the healing process. It would be a miraculous recovery if he could suit up, but managers shouldn't get their hopes up. Stay tuned. I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say this is more of a let's get our fan base optimistic. Let's not rule him out yet. This gets you amped up. You know what I mean? If you're a fan right now, you're thinking about burning your jersey. You're thinking about cashing in the remaining tickets you have, selling them, getting out of who would want to go watch a football game? If their star quarterback went down, who would want to drive down to the stadium, drink a whole bunch of beer in the heat, if you're in Arizona, like when Kyler Murray went down, my best buddy, the biggest Cardinal fan I know, stopped going to the games. He's now driving down there, getting wasted, getting in a bad mood, getting in a fight because he's upset. And just sitting out in the sun in Arizona. So I could understand this being like a move to get this fan base, thinking, oh, this is very hopeful. This could be just a game. And that's the notion I'm getting. I think that he probably sits 1 week, but this is great news. To be honest with you, I still have some reservations about jumping back on the Ridley train to an extreme degree once Law Dog's back in the lineup, but I'm still very hopeful that Ridley can have a very solid, amazing wide receiver 3 type level production once T-Law's back in the lineup. But the problem isn't really with T-Law, it's with the usage of this coaching staff, how they decide to deploy Calvin Ridley, how they decide to target him. And when they need him, they throw to him. Like at the end of the game, who's the wide receiver catching or trying to catch and pull in an end zone missile dart by Trevor Lawrence to win a game? Ridley. Who's getting fed 3 receptions in a row at the end of a game? Ridley. Why not throw to him the entirety of the game? It's very frustrating. I understand if Law Dog's back in the saddle, I don't think anybody in here is going to feel real confident putting Ridley back in the wide receiver 3 role, but some of us will be in desperate need of a wide receiver 3 at that time because I'm sure injuries are going to continue to pile up on us. So we may need to play him. We may want to play him. But for right now, yeah, Charles says he's resting Ridley a week. I would too. If T-Law's out, it depends on your option, but Ridley's not like an exciting play this week. Now watch him go absolutely bonkers because this man is likely never going to play another 2020 3 regular season snap because he's going to have surgery. His season is essentially over. We'll see what happens. These surgeries are not all the same. So if and when the Jaguars march through the playoffs, what will his availability be? Probably be out. But he has an injury to his core, likely requiring surgery. He looked very, very, very beat up. He could barely walk. And so that was great news for Ridley's usage, but then Ridley wasn't really even used. Even before Law Dog went down, they weren't feeding Ridley. We knew they would at the end of the game, and Ridley did catch a big, long reception all the way down to the 1. I don't know if that was like a 30 or 40-yard reception. I think it was right around 40, something like that, and it got called back. And it's like, son of a B. We knew that Laundry would hit the field. Ridley got ripped from that. That would have been like a 70-yard day. That would at least been salvageable, right? I think it would have been 5 receptions for 70-something yards. Hey, we'd take a 12-point game. We wouldn't be super ultra happy about it, but we'd take a 12-point game. But no, we had that rip from our Kung Fu grip and really had, what was it, like 30 or 40 yards off the 4 receptions. It was absolute garbage. Law Dog, good news for Law Dog. Let's send him to the moon just to keep him healthy. We won't play any of the Log Dog clips, just for bad luck. Let's hope. Let's be hopeful. We're not going to start ramping him up or anything. And just Law Dog, get healthy. And especially for ETN owners, especially for Ridley owners that want to play him, especially for Ingram owners and for Zay or Parker. If anybody's got Washington in there, this entire unit needs to have Trevor Lawrence under center, or it all just starts to crumble and fade away. I think defenses would game plan against ETN differently, planning for no Law Dog. That's why ETN was still able to rip some runs off. I think if a team has a whole week to prepare and adjust the entirety of their game plan to let's let them throw the ball on us with no T Law, then you see the run game get shut down. So nobody should be thinking, oh, this is great for ETN if Law Dog's out. That's not the way football usually works. Sometimes there's been running back advantages to a quarterback going down, but it's not as easy as it sounds to be like, oh, they'll run more. So that's good news, though. Law Dog potentially on the mend quicker than we thought. Not out for the year, that's for sure. This man is out for the fantasy football season because the Patriots have no playoff hopes anyway. So he is out, ankle, expected to miss multiple weeks. Is there some kind of like he could come back in week 17 or 18 potential? I don't know. We'll have to see. But for right now, I would say he's pretty much worthless to anybody that owns him. And it's going to be Zeke Elliott go forward in a run-heavy attack that is a very, very bad offense. But if you need a running back, Zeke Elliott is a fantastic ad. But the question is, who's better? I'm going to pose the question. Who would you rather have on your team? Zeke or Keith Mitchell? Because in general, these are the two most available players to pick up at the 30% availability like type of level. I think Zeke's available in more leagues than Keith Mitchell, but I think they're both pretty available. I think maybe even Mitchell might be 40%. Let me pull up Mitchell right now and see. It seems to me that people cut him in a major way walking into last week, and so his numbers were crazy when I looked them up. Keaton Mitchell available in 45% of leagues. That is insane. 45%. So I don't want to hear, hey, Smitty, this guy's not available. Keaton Mitchell's not available. 45% of leagues, Bob. 45% of leagues. Ezekiel Elliott is available in 54% of leagues. So I stand corrected. These are not guys that were in the 30s. Like I was misremembering. These are both in the 40s or right around 50% availability. That's fantastic. So the question is, who do you like more? My answer last night on the Waiver Wire show was that if you need now production, you probably want to go with Zeke because he's going to give you starts the remainder of the year. I think the good news with Zeke is, he doesn't have a lot of miles left on the tires, and he doesn't have a lot of gas left in the tank. But given that he has just week 14, 15, 16, 17, that's 4 games, to give it his all and try and make up for the fact that he's not the same player, I think that we can get the most out of him. So I have no problem with someone taking Zeke over Keaton Mitchell if both were available in tonight's waiver claim, and you're putting a waiver request, and request both of them. Just, if you include the same drop, you'll only get one of them, or request both of them if you could drop your kicker for to buy yourself time. But I would say Zeke makes sense for a team that's like, look, I need 4 starts from an RB spot. I can't mess around with Keaton Mitchell. But I could also understand somebody saying, hey, look, if I picked up Zeke, I wouldn't play him. You want to grab Keaton Mitchell. You are the Keaton Mitchell candidate, the guy that needs to have 4 consecutive starts from somebody, or he's starting nobody in his running back 2 spot. You, my friend, are probably more inclined to go Zeke for safety. But Keaton Mitchell could still deliver for 4 straight games. He is very risky. He's very high risk, very high reward. Think riskier version of Achane. Think quick and speedy like Achane. Think maybe further back in the evolution of being a staple of the offense, but maybe knocking at the door of the first game that Achane broke out. So we don't know if we're going to get a watered down Mitchell for 2 more weeks and then they unleash him in week 15 or whatever, week 16. Or is this a guy that blows up in week 17 and 18? Remember I said every year somebody does well in the last 2 weeks, one of which people don't play. So it used to be week 16 and week 7, or week 15 and week 16. No, week 16, week 17. Now, because we have week 18, somebody's going to blow up in week 17 and week 18. I just wonder if it's going to be him. Maybe he blows up in all 4 weeks. That's my hope. The next 4 weeks, I really hope he does. I would personally roll the dice with Mitchell, because I'm a dice rolling mofo, and I think he's got a lot of upside. Did somebody say Achane?
Devon Achane, please report to your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability high.
Somebody say Achane? I thought somebody said Achane, so I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep hitting this button. I slipped.
Devon Achane, please report to your shuttle to Saturn. Your shuttle is leaving. Prepare for departure. Touchdown probability high.
You don't compare to Achane, says David Wong. David, I don't even know what that means, bro. No one knows what you mean. Daniel Golf, appreciate you. How do I gift memberships? You should be able to click that $, my broski, and instead of doing a super chat, it should say something like gift memberships. You may have to edit a setting. Appreciate you dropping a super chat, though, my guy. Appreciate you standing. First super chat of the night or the show gets a standing ovation.
Mashed potatoes!
That's my boy. My boy. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. So there's one other piece of news. There's not a whole lot of news today. It's kind of a slow news day, considering you'd think there'd be all kinds of stuff brewing and getting talked about. But this little number right here. So I don't know if you guys heard, but when Tim Boyle was made the starter, Zach Wilson said, I'm going to make that guy's job a living hell and practice every... Oh, wait, no, he said that about Aaron Rodgers. But look what little Zach Wilson did. Drove Tim Boyle out of town. Now the Jets are turning back to Zach Wilson, and it's an endless circle. This is like going to bed and having that same bad dream again you just had. I mean, what's the likelihood of that? When you want to, you can't go back to bed and have the same dream. You get woken up, you're like, damn it, I woke up from a good dream. Can I get back into it? No, it won't let you. You can't. The mind doesn't work that way. However, with nightmares, you can. You close your eyes, you're back in the same bad dream, repetitive dream. You know you've had that when you're sick. You have a repetitive dream. Whenever I have the flu, I'll have the same dream over and over. I'll be walking around a store, just continuously walking around the same store in the same aisle over and over and over. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I have a bad dream. And it's like, it's nothing crazy. I'm not scared. It's not like I'm looking at Hackett, Nathaniel Hackett, or potentially Arthur Smith. That would be a nightmare if I ran into that guy. I'm talking about just repetitive dream. We're in a repetitive dream over and over. It's Tim Boyle, back to Zach Wilson. Let's try out somebody else, back to Zach Wilson. I'm very fearful that Aaron Rodgers comes back because he's older, gets hurt, and then Zach Wilson's the backup because nobody thought to back him up. I have a feeling that Robert Saleh doesn't have the fortitude or the awareness or the understanding to prepare next year with any other quarterback than Aaron Rodgers and probably Zach Wilson or lesser quarterback. I'm beginning to think that Robert Saleh does not have the ability to coach. Because I know he's in a way handcuffed and helpless, but you can't sit through an Aaron Rodgers injury and not bring a quarterback in because you're scared of what that will do to Aaron Rodgers. If you were to, let's say, when we said trade for a big name quarterback or do something, go get a Kirk Cousins before the trade deadline passed, etc., etc., etc. He didn't think to do a single thing. Why? I think because he didn't want to step on next year's toes. But this guy's just sitting here losing, just wasting away Breece Hall's talent. And now we're back to Zach Wilson. Unbelievable. Repetitive dream over and over and over again. And that's all she wrote for the news. The news is very, very light today. I got to go to Home Depot later tonight, by the way. I don't know if you guys are following my Instagram, but I have a pull-up bar being installed. And so they installed it, and they came to me and said, look, we put it up. It looks a little something like this. It's absolutely amazing. It's like 8 feet tall, and it looks like this. Actually, I'm sorry. That line's crooked. We need to put. Let's redo this. Let's redo this. Okay, so it's like this, and it's about 8 feet tall, like Breece Hall. Just the same height as Breece Hall, and it's cemented. They did a great job. I showed on my Instagram. They cemented it into the ground like this, and then they put, then they laid the turf down. So then the turf was laid down in the grass. So I've got this amazing turf everywhere. Just bright green, triple green turf, has 3 different colors, and it has a dead color underneath, so it really looks like green grass. And then I made this, so I installed a pull-up bar in here, hammered in, drilled some holes, hammered in this piece, wedged it in there really good. They cemented this bad boy in, and now they've come to me and said, Senor, we need to put a beam here and a beam here. A beam here, and it makes sense. I mean, I thought about building it this way, but I didn't want to give them too much work to do, but they're offering to do it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be trying to do muscle up training on this. When you do a pull up, right? Muscle up is where you go all the way up above the bar. It's very few people, like you run into like 500 people, probably 0 can do a muscle up. Like nobody can do these things. So it's going to take like 2 months for me to train and get stronger to do it. But if I'm going to be like trying to do some pretty nifty moves on this thing, I'm going to need this stabilized. So I got to go to Home Depot before they close at 10. Right now it's 6:35 my time, 8:35 Eastern. We got plenty of time. I don't need to leave or anything. I need to go buy 2 10-feet pieces of wood and 6 bags of cement. That's what my homework is. 2 pieces of wood, 10 feet long. That's as tall as H-hand. And 6 bags of cement. So that's my assignment from my amazing, absolute, unbelievable professionals that are doing my yard work. Just marvelous, marvelous, marvelous people. All right, great picture, Smitty. Thank you. Yeah, my yard guys are unbelievable. This is the most professional job you'll ever see in your life. These guys are remarkable. I even have a piece of footage on there where they're just stomping away at this turf, and they're just doing a remarkable job. Let me put this up so you guys can see it. I'm going to document this whole thing too. It's going to be in my. Let's see here. And I'm working a lot on my Spanish, by the way. So they put bags in, right? They put bags in, and protected the wood. Like these are professionals. These are professionals. And they want to do this. They're like showing me. So they're not going to do it shorter, like a much shorter pieces, but they're trying to tell me what they want to do that. They want to cement those in because there's going to be some massive pull-ups being done on this thing. And then they started questioning my weight. They're like, how much do you weigh? And I'm like, hey, I'm going to be 20 pounds less soon. Don't you worry about it. Here's an update video. Okay. So it's sitting there. It looks magnificent. Just sitting there. And they're not done putting the triple green down. They're hammering the first layer there. And then here's them. Look at this. Look at these professionals. In order, marching, pushing that turf in, making it level, nailing it in. These are professionals. I tell you, professionals. Hold on. Start the video over again. There we go. Look at it. Look at it. Look, see, they put the turf in. Oh, this isn't an update on how far they went over. So there it is. It's about 8. It's a little over Brees Hall's height. 8 feet, maybe 2 or 3 inches. I'd say. I got to jump up to get it. Here's a video. Here's video of the turf they're putting all the way around the basketball court, so that you can see the turf now is covering. They're nailing it in right now. Don't hurt myself on that turf. Don't you worry about it, Isaac. Don't you worry about it. These are professionals. True, a glorious, overqualified professionals if I've ever seen them in my life.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Let's get this ugly picture off of 2 pieces of wood, 6 bags of sand. We'll leave that up until we have an appropriate caller. Man, got a lot on my plate this week. This yard stuff takes a lot out of you, but I for some reason I love it. I love walking out there like every 15 minutes. You know, and they don't get annoyed because they like talking to me. I'm working on my Spanish, and you know, I walk out there, we start talking. They're basically like my professors. They're teaching me Spanish. I took a lot of it in school, but I haven't used it in a while. You know, so they're helping me out. They're talking me through it all, and we're sitting out there, and I go out about every maybe 15-20 minutes, like just I feel like my dad. You know, I've turned into my dad. I walk out, I'm like, looking good. Looking. And I walk over, check this corner already. I already checked it 8 times last hour. And I'm like, that's looking good. Oh, so you nailed it down, huh? Big gulps. All right. See you later. Go over to the next guy. Looking good. You nailed that one down. Oh, I see you nailed that 1/4 inch of that turf down that whole corner. Looks good. I walk over to the pull bar, give it a little bit of it. It's still drying. Give it a little bit of a shake. That's sturdy. Looking good. Just over and over. Sebastian, you're live. Sorry for the wait, Sebastian.
No, you're good. Oh, I just wanted to ask you, what was your favorite take this year that you've been pushing ever since maybe even the off season? Besides, I mean, A-Chain is probably your number one. But besides that, what has been like your favorite take that you have been pushing for the longest?
My favorite. God, that's tough, bro. This year has been so brutal. Like a lot of my favorites have been knocked out. Like that's not saying like that's not admitting failure of any kind. That's just the kind of season we've seen. You know, I kind of feel like there have been a couple players that I said don't go near that have done well, you know, at the cost of entry. It wasn't like I said don't draft them, period. It just like, okay, they're a little high. Like I've missed on a couple, but we really, this year was super accurate on the avoid players. Like I kind of am more proud of that than anything because It was don't draft JT. It was, and even though it was fun to trade for him on the low, it's fun to trade for Cooper Kupp, who I still would trade for to this day, might I remind everybody watching, on the low. Like, you're in a league where Cooper Kupp's available to be had very cheaply. I would trade for him on the low right now. But he was a 1,000% avoid for me on draft day. JT was a 1,000% avoid for me after we started hearing everything that was going down on that. And then I would say, so Cooper Kupp, JT, Austin Eckler was a 1,000% avoid for me on draft day at that cost of entry, who I still remind everybody watching, this is not flip-flopping. This is being astute. This is being a bargain hunter, a seller. You're sifting through the cellar dweller, material. I would go get Eckler now at the right price, but those were really, really on the money. I would say probably Alvin Kamara was the one that is the most league winning, that has the Kenneth Walker from last year feel, because Kamara's what? What would you rank Kamara right now? Going forward, the third running back, the second, the fourth, the fifth?
Top three.
I mean, top three.
Because he can keep up with A10 and CMC. Like, all three of those are intertwinable.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like that might be the one that has the most, ability to absolutely win leagues. Like, people that drafted Kamara where we said to, especially in best ball. Because on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, might I remind you, we may do a draft here in a minute. I'm not sure if we'll have time, but Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, he was going in round 7, 8, 9. There was a lot of time for, even up to like August, he was still going in like 7, 8, 9. I forget exactly where he was leveling out. Every contest was a little bit different because some of them were, geared a little different, Some of them were Superflex, et cetera, et cetera. But this guy has over-delivered on his cost of entry more than anybody that I think we talked about, because that's like crazy value. And even in like drafts where we draft on like Sleeper or ESPN, where their ADP wasn't even like updated all year, that he still had like some ADP remnants from the year prior pushing his ADP up. And so you would see a suggested pick of Kamara in round 5, and once bad ADP suggests a player at the top of the ADP rank for long enough, someone's going to take him. You know what I mean? So we'd be on Underdog and he'd be suggested in round 8 or 9. Nobody would take him till 8 or 9. On Sleeper, he'd be sitting there at the top of round 5 on the suggested rank, and then sure enough, a Bob is going to take him at 5.3. So it kind of depended. What?
No, they'll just see like, he's projected.
Yeah, I got to do it, right?
Number.
Yeah, I got to do it. So that's the bad pre-rank can ruin everything. So, but anyway, that was probably.
Like he's number 4, even missing those 3 weeks. Number 4 on the season overall. I mean, the running back.
Yeah, and to be fair, to answer your question both ways, I think my most regretful take was probably just, even though I still believed in the process of it, I think just Bijan, wanting Bijan as high as we wanted him, because he hasn't delivered that. I'm hopeful that he can down the stretch, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't matter. Like, if I'm going to be honest and fairly, critique that part of it, I would say if we were to truly take care of the Bijan, let's say Bijan was going to go on a tear and he finishes as running back 4 overall or 5. He still really could. If Bijan went on a tear week 14, 15, 16, 17, he could be running back 5 with all the injuries and everything. He could be running back 5, even with the slow start and the ups and downs by the end of the year. It's that crazy. It's that crazy close, But even if that ended up happening, the right course of action, if I could go back in time, would be to not draft him, let other people pay just like other people paid for Eckler and Cooper Kupp, and come in and trade for him on the low. That would have been the most ideal way to attack Bijan. And so that would be my biggest regret, but I don't really regret it because the process was sound. I mean, even if we look at what Arthur Smith was doing the year prior, it all made sense. Like, anybody says we knew this was going to happen, you shouldn't. No, not really. Tyler Algier was on a tear, and they spent a top 10
line and the talent.
Yeah, line, talent, top 10 overall pick. in the NFL draft. Why would they not use him? There was no sense and no logic behind that. High character guy. Felt like the momentum was there. There's really no like warning signs of it because they were the best rushing team in the National Football League the year prior. Number one in the NFL. So it didn't, and even that doesn't, like, Tyler Algier isn't being used so much that he still shouldn't be thriving. It's play calling. It's tons of things, bro.
And if you ever see another Bijan come out, say in the next couple of years, would it keep you skeptical with that type of talent, or would you just scratch this one and be like, oh, that was just Arthur Smith? Like, say we had Bijan in 2 years from now on a different team.
I think if there was a different coach, he'd be the number 2 or 3 running back or number 1 in the National Football League. I don't think I was wrong. I think on the player, I was wrong on the situation. But it was hard to see this situation coming. But I truly believe. You would
have drafted him in the same slot.
You what?
I said if it were the Titans, saying like a year or two, would you draft the next Bijan in that same slot?
I'm not scared. I'm not scared to draft another rookie ultra high. Other people can get fearful of that and try and use one season to dictate the next season. I could care less. It's not going to influence me a single bit. If I feel like, and I don't feel as of this moment yet, and my rookie, I'm not going to go into any rookie content yet because that's going to be January 1. I'm saving it. But if I feel like there's a player like Marvin Harrison Jr. is freaking amazing, I am not scared at all about what happened the year prior to rookies and these. Every situation is completely different, and we just got to assess them each individually.
Perfect. Yeah, I just like to pick your brain because I think you're very smart in the fantasy space. But
thank you, Sebastian.
Lots of good input.
All right, later, bro.
Later.
Let's see here. I got a bunch of people on the line. I might have to limit everybody to like a minute or two because otherwise I don't know how I'm going to get through it all. Let's head over to Ron Navy first. Ron Navy, what's up, my guy?
Hey, bro, your art's looking good.
Yeah, it's coming along.
I just got one question. Though.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you hire professionals to do it?
Yeah, because I wanted to hire ultra professionals to do it.
You said professionals, ultra professionals. You know how many times you said that? You almost 20 times.
Yeah, because they are. They're ultimate professionals. I feed them. I bring out Cheetos. They love Cheetos. They keep asking for Cheetos, so I bought more bags of Cheetos because we had a bag of Cheetos, and I was like, we got Doritos, we got Cheetos, we got little pizzas, we got hot dogs, and they're like, Cheetos, and it's Chetos in Espanol. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm buying Cheetos in bulk. I just like, you keep your workers happy, they're going to do a great job. So they love coming here. When they found out they were going to come back to redo more, they all probably requested the job. They're like, let's do it. Because, I feed them, I bring them waters, I bring them drinks. But I do go out there like my dad. I feel like I turned into him when I'm just walking out into my yard, and I'm like looking around. And I think normally they would probably be like, can you leave us alone to let us do the job? But they don't mind talking to me and stuff. But I just walk around, and I seen it all like 15 minutes prior. I just go outside every 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, I need a break. Go outside and just walk around looking at the yard. I'm like, good job. That looks great. Looks just like when I left it. But the disappointing thing is they told me, okay, we're cementing this pull-up bar in. You can't use it. And I got a pull-up bar right here in the studio. I got, it's not like I don't have one. But I just want to use that one. It's outside. There's no clearance problem. So, when I'm trying to do those muscle ups, which I cannot do now anyway, it's just going to be fun for me. I'm really excited about it. I got the little putting green. I got the ice bath and the basketball court, and then the pull-up bar. So it's like a little man cave outside. I love it. But they said you got to wait 2.5 days before you can use it because of the cement. And so we're on tomorrow afternoon, maybe evening. I could use the pull-up bar. And now I got to do the redesign where they're going to cement in 2 new pieces tomorrow afternoon probably. So I got to wait another 2.5 days to use it. So I'm really bummed about that. But I want it done right.
Yeah, it has to cure. So, with all this wonderful stuff going on, I mean, pretty much, the playoffs went from looking very closed up to very open on both the AFC and NFC.
For sure.
I mean, look at that. The Rams have a shot to get in now. I think if the Vikings, if they misstep and they start, try to start Hall, or they mess up with the quarterback, if he makes calls like he made last week, the Vikings ain't making it in. In fact, Green Bay got a lot of momentum. Green Bay can be making it in, and the Rams. And then on the AFC side, look at Indianapolis. They're balling. They're playing. They're balling good. They could sneak in. And you got Houston. And I think probably, if I'm being honest, I think probably the way the Steelers are banged up and all that, they don't make the playoffs. I think they're gonna get. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
They might not. And I think Cleveland's not going to make it. And I think you could get Houston in there and you could get Indy in there. So, I don't know.
Yeah. If I had to guess right now, and if the Chargers would be in the mix if they just won one more game. Their odds are so bad because of one game. They
suck.
Yeah. So they're not a team I'm concerned about. I think the Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills get in. I think the Ravens clinch. I think the Jaguars. God, they could lose. It depends on how quick T-Law gets back and what happens with Indy and Houston this week. I'm going to predict that Houston wins the division unless T-Law can come back like right away and be 100% and everything, and he might be banged up for a little bit. If Houston wins the division, then I think, it's going to be maybe Denver's playing well. It very well could be both other teams could be with Buffalo as the wild card seeds. It's really tough. You're right. It's really close. We're just guessing at this point. Indy's interesting, but without JT, I don't know. I think they could still squeak by. Their defense is scrappy. Like, they make plays, and so there's certainly a possibility. Casey's You don't think Buffalo wins out?
I think they lose to Kansas City this weekend. I think Kansas City's pissed off at the way they're playing. I think Mahomes has one of his classic games with him and Kelsey. And, I think Buffalo is going to be outside. I don't think they're going to make it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they're on the tipping point, but I believe they'll probably swing back around and play really, really tough and get in. But you never know. All it takes is one loss and it's over. But
we're just, it's just our opinion.
But on this on this side of things, and I love my Niner fans, and kudos to you guys, and congrats on that win. You guys look phenomenal. I would definitely say the Niners and the Eagles are the two best teams in the National Football League by far. I don't even think it's really close at this point. It's kind of a shame they can't face off against each other in the Super Bowl. They're going to be in a title game together. Most likely, anything can happen. All it takes is one injury. All it takes is, but Philly is 10-2. And it's funny that how much everybody's acting like Philly took like some sort of crazy turn. And it's like, come on, man. Everybody loses a game. The Niners lost 3 games in a row, and no one's judging that anymore. They're just talking about how they look right now. Philly will get back on track. Philly will be fine. Dallas is playing really, really tough. What?
Philly came off a short week after playing. They beat the Bills and they beat Kansas City, and then they come off a short week. Of course, any team could have a letdown after having those 2 games and coming off a short week.
Yeah. Viking Nomad, are you a H-Hand hater too, bro? You know what I like, and I don't know if Viking Nomad is or if he's reading something else somebody else said. I don't know, but it's so funny because the Achane haters, none of them are regulars. We never see it. They just come in and they're gone. They're always new. They're never regulars. So I'm going to predict, Philly wins the division. Obviously, they get in. Detroit, they clinch the division. They get in. This NFC South is a little bit more complicated than it, than it even looks like, because all four of these teams are capable of being beat by anybody at any moment versus saying any one of these teams could beat anybody at any moment. It's like, it's the reverse, Atlanta keeps winning, which enables Arthur Smith's usage of Bijan Robinson, which drives me nuts more than anything. Because Blank's calling up, Arthur's calling up Arthur and saying, hey, congrats on the win. Keep doing what you're doing. Hangs up the phone, and Arthur Smith's going, yep, my usage of all the players is perfect because we're winning the division, which is absolutely hogwash, and it doesn't really tell the story. But let's just say the Falcons continue to do whatever they're doing. Let's say Bijan gets on his horse, though, and helps them win. So Atlanta, let's just say for a moment, they lock that division up. They go to the playoffs. Niners, they're going to lock up the division. They go to the playoffs. The Rams, like you said, Seattle's kind of, I think they fall flat. They kind of feel like how you feel about Pittsburgh. I think that at the end of the day, they're not going to have the juice to do it. So I'm going to say the Rams clinch a wild card spot. I'm going to say the Packers are okay, so you got the Cowboys, and then you've got essentially a race between everybody that's right there at 6 wins right now. So the Cowboys lock in their playoff seed because they got 9 wins. So it's the Rams at 6-6. I don't think anybody from the South. Vikings, like you said, may or may not. Packers, I think, certainly are in the mix. So Packers, maybe the Vikings, and that's it. So really it's Minnesota, Green Bay, the Rams, maybe Seattle. So probably going to be the Rams, the Packers, and the Vikings.
I don't think Atlanta wins the South. I think either Tampa Bay or New Orleans.
Well,
South. I think they come back.
If that's the case, then the other ones aren't in the wild card race anyway. So either way, so if let's say Tampa wins it or whatever. So Tampa wins it, then the rest of the 3 teams in the South are not in the race. But I think it's the Rams and I got to pick. I'm sorry, the Cowboys. So the Cowboys, Rams, and one of Green Bay, Minnesota. I'm gonna say Green Bay. I think Jordan Love looks on point.
Yeah, we'll see. They play the last game. They play Week 17, Green Bay and Minnesota, so that should be interesting. It should be good. But let me say, Niners is in the chat, and he's saying, cry, Philly, cry. You know what? There is no bigger criers than San Francisco fans. I'm sorry, but San Francisco, they cry. They've been crying ever since last year. They cried on their 3-game losing streak. They cried about firing their defensive coach. And then when they fucking start playing good again, then they're all good again. And they're like, oh, yeah. I have never seen such entitled fans that are so entitled as the Niner fans.
I think they both cry about the same.
When they're not doing what they're supposed to. So if Seattle, I would love to see Seattle beat the Niners, so I can see all the Niner fans, like Niners in the chat, start crying. I'm going to say, cry Niners, cry, because you know what? Philly's not crying. You've been crying for the whole year since you totally got beat up by them in the playoffs. And I'm sorry, but the Niners are not going to the Super Bowl again this year. Guaranteed. They're going to fail. Just like Shanahan always fails every year, the Niners are done. Kaput. You can say whatever you want, but they're going to the Super Bowl.
I will say, you know me, I'm a player person before I'm a team person. So I'm all Jalen Hurts. I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts. Doesn't matter. I love Deebo Samuel, but I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. He was one of the biggest bold predictions this show has ever created. So I'm riding and dying with Jalen Hurts no matter what, no matter where he go. Even if he got traded, I'm going wherever he's going. I'm wanting him to win. I think both fan bases, because I interact with both of them, they're both equal. They're like, and you're not wrong in that they cried a lot, but both fan bases just cry. It's like when the Niners say "cry Eagles cry," it is almost like kind of ridiculous though, because like you said, you can't almost say that when you did the amount of crying that you did as well. Like everyone's crying, and it's it's just like it doesn't make any sense when both fan bases are absolutely at each other's throats doing the same thing back and forth. I can't wait to see what happens when they face off again. And I do have to say that it's becoming one of my favorite rivalries in football because of the hatred between the two. It makes for an intense game. Both sides are loaded with talent. Again, I believe the two best teams in football, the Niners and the Eagles. And the Niners are in such a rhythm right now. An injury could shake it all up, though. They lose one major piece like Trent Williams on the line. Brock Purdy gets another concussion or gets hurt. He's had 2 concussions this year already. Part of me thinks he's susceptible to it because he's had 2 already, in my opinion. In my opinion, he had another concussion. If he didn't, he played like shit. So either played really bad or he had a concussion. You can pick what you want. I'd rather, if I were you, say that he played with a concussion. But Kyle Shanahan rushed this man back, and he looked awful. Why'd he look awful? I think he was still concussed. Shanahan is reckless with his players. So, anyway, if there's an injury to Purdy, an injury to CMC, even maybe an injury to Debo, he's such a vital part. As I've said all year, he's the glue of this team. CMC and Debo are together the glue of this team. They lose any one of those big pieces, and they're toast. I think the Eagles are more capable of. They can't lose Jalen Hurts, though. Neither team can lose their quarterback or they're toast, but that goes for any team in the National Football League. So if Jalen Hurts goes down, the Eagles are done. If Purdy goes down, Purdy goes down, Birdie. If Purdy goes down, the Niners are done. But if, let's say, the Eagles lost Devonta Smith or they lost A.J. Brown, I think they're more capable and equipped to play at a very high level, more so than the Niners would be if they lost CMC or if they lost, Debo Samuel or whatever. Purdy or Hurts, they have to stay healthy.
I love it. I did what I wanted to do. I got Niners all spun up in the chat.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Ron, I got to get to these other callers.
Get out your callers.
Yeah. All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Appreciate you later.
Bye.
Yeah, Ron gets worked up himself, but he likes to work other people up about as much as he works himself up. Theo from Illinois, you're live.
Would you start Devonta Smith, Jamar Chase, or Devontae Adams at flex? Or pick 2 out of those 3.
Okay, give me him again.
Devontae Adams, Devonta Smith, and Jamar Chase.
I think you got to go with Chase and Devonta Smith. I love Adams, but his situation is a little bit bleaker. I still like him. He's a great buy low. I think he's still got tons of upside. He could outscore either one of them on any given Sunday, so you can't beat yourself up over it if, let's say, Adams has 100 and a touchdown and Smith gets you 70 yards. But I think Smith's playing like fire. Jamar Chase proved to you last night and proved to me, because I was skeptical that he could deliver with Browning. But Browning and him have a great rapport. It's already proven. I think it's out there. And now we know what to do with Chase, which is, doesn't matter, bro. You just can't sit him. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what else you got. You got to play him. I play these two guys moving forward.
All right, cool.
All right, later, bro.
Thanks.
Mars Man, rock out. And then I got some super chats here, guys, I'm still going to get to, so please don't think I forgot about you. In fact, let me throw these 2 on here. Joe, appreciate your 2 super chats. Joe, I got you here. I'm going to go through super chats after I answer these phone calls. Mars Man, rock out. What can I do for you?
Yeah, would you pick up the Texans defense, Packers, or Colts? I'm not sure if I want to play the Cowboys against the Eagles this week.
Texans and who?
Texans, Packers, and Colts.
Did you ask me about the Colts last week?
No.
I forget who asked me on the phone about that last week, but they played well. All right, let's see here.
Let's see. Play that. Giant.
You what?
Bengals.
You what?
I was telling you, play.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Let me go back to the schedule. Okay, so Packers on the road. I do think the Packers are a good play in this one. Packers, Indy's on the road, Cincinnati. I would stay away from Indy. I'm gonna scratch them out. And then the Houston Texans and the Jets. That's a decent one. But Zach Wilson has enough ability to like make a very bad mistake at the end, but be okay throughout the game. So I'm gonna lean Packers, bro. I'm gonna lean Packers because they've got that at New York Giant matchup, and I just think that this is the worst, one of the bottom two teams in the league. And then Jets, New York Giants. Do it live.
That trusting Cowboys against the Eagles. I was gonna pick one of them up.
Yeah, DeVito. I don't trust a guy that his mom does his laundry still. No offense out there, guys. Sorry if that offended somebody out there. All right, thanks, Rockout. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
If your mom does your laundry, I'm sorry, Rockout. I didn't mean it. All right, Mr. Frost, you're live. I don't trust a quarterback in the NFL if their mom does their laundry.
You there, Smitty?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, Frost?
All right. 5-year follower. Love you.
Thanks, pal.
Don't usually call unless I got a dilemma, and I got an RB one for you. Who would you start between Charbonnet, Mitchell, Pierce, and Warren? I lost Stevenson, so I could get Elliott off waivers, but I'd have to drop somebody too.
I would probably do that just to get him. Let's check some news on a few of these guys, but I don't know. That's such a close one. I think Pierce is just in a vacuum. Pierce is the guy with the most upside, but Mitchell is the guy with the most upside, but he's certainly got a massive amount of risk.
Yeah, and I need two of them. Charbonnet is just as risky as Mitchell. Pierce is just as risky. Warren's just as risky. They're all risky this week.
Yeah. So Charbonnet's tough to know what his health status is going to be. I mean, he has so much swelling. I don't see much of an update on his bruised knee.
They're playing the 49ers.
Yeah, it's possible he plays, but I don't know, man. If it's me, I'm going to go Warren and Mitchell. But I wouldn't be all that scared off from picking up Elliott and throwing him in this conversation, and we wait until the end of the week to make a decision.
Would you drop him for JSN or Jameson Williams?
Do I drop who for who? Sharps?
No. If you picked up Zeke, would you drop JSN or Jameson Williams?
I'm not dropping JSN. Do I drop Jameson? Jameson's looking exciting right now, but he does this, and then if he goes out and gets no targets next week, you'll literally never play him again. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Tough to say. J-Mo could be breaking out a little bit, and he might not. I wish I could tell you.
So Mitchell and Pierce probably.
For now. And D-Town makes a good point. We gotta wait. We gotta wait for some weather as well. We'll have a lot of weather stuff, but I don't tend to necessarily do a lot of that right now because the weather changes so quickly. So we'll do that more on Saturday night. We'll make some last-second detours, but I like to wait until Saturday for the weather because weather can change very quickly. So, yeah, I for now I'm going Mitchell and Warren, and I pick up Zeke, but I guess I drop J-Mo or. I guess I drop him, but he looked okay. Pierce he's leading the backfield. I think that's a little scary to throw Pierce onto the waiver wire. Jameson Williams is what did he have? What did he finish with? He had one. Is this the one catch, right? Oh, he had the touchdown called back, didn't he?
No, he had the rushing touchdown.
Oh, he had the rushing touchdown. Okay, that's right. I was wondering why I didn't see it. I thought I saw him in the end zone, and then I remember later in the day when I refreshed it, I'm like, did he get called back or something? What in the hell? And then I remembered, yeah, he went to the.
No,
you
he
just
took
reminded
a
me.
jet sweep to the house.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's not one. What do you have? One target. What do you have the week prior? 3 targets, 3 targets, 2 targets. Yeah, I could cut him. I cut him for Zeke. All right, bro. Got to go, Frost. Appreciate you.
Okay. Take it easy, bud.
Yeah, if he was getting more targets, like 7 or 5 or whatever, I think we'd have a little bit more of a. Okay, Gavin from Arizona. What's up, Gavin?
So I need know who to start because I got Kyron, Eckler, Checo, and then I got Keenan. I just traded for AJ Brown, and then Devontae. Who do I start? Do I start Kyron and Pacheco, and then flex Adams or Eckler at flex?
Wait, so Kyron is your starter for sure. You don't want to mess with that. Keenan Allen, you're starting for sure. Devonta Smith, you're starting for sure. Okay, so
no, AJ Brown.
You're not Devonta Smith?
No, I have AJ Brown. I have AJ Brown and Devontae Adams.
Okay, AJB, you're starting for
Eckler.
sure. Okay, so you're trying to decide between, and you're going to start. You're going to start Pacheco and Kyron, right? And then Keenan Allen, AJB.
Yeah.
So you're trying to decide between Eckler and Adams.
Yeah.
Boy, I mean, Eckler's just been very dreadful. I would say Adams is a tiny bit safer, but there's still some limitations there to a little bit of a degree. So you're not crazy to say, let me ride this Eckler situation one more time. But it's close, man. Let's see what the group chat thinks. Group chat, give a little vote here. Eckler, Adams in week number 14. Let's help out Gavin. Eckler or Adams? Eckler is at home against the Denver Broncos, and Devontae Adams is at home against the Minnesota Vikings. I kind of lean. Is it PPR, full PPR?
Yeah.
I probably lean Adams, but let Eckler prove it, I think. But that's just my lean.
Yeah, he's just done nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. Pacheco's been really good.
All right, bro.
Thanks.
Later. Hey, Gavin, call in later in the week on this one because I barely lean the way. I part of me wants to give Eckler one more chance, but I don't know. Call later on it, Gavin. Nick from Arizona, another Arizonian. What's up?
Man, I just had one quick question for you. I have Ridley right now in the flex, and I was thinking about maybe doing Taysom Hill in my flex with Kincaid and tight end. Would you do that, or would you just what would you do if you had those 3 guys? Would you just start Hill and throw in Ridley, or would you do Kincaid and Taysom Hill like a double flex over Ridley?
I think with Ridley this week, if assuming T-Law doesn't go, even if he goes, we got to worry about how healthy he's going to be. So right now, very, very, very confident to a degree that I would go Taysom Hill, who's just getting a lot of work. But
with Kincaid in it too, though, right?
Yeah, Kincaid's your tight end, Taysom Hill's your flex now. But I'm not saying I love this all year. I'm just without T-Law. I just don't know that I trust this team to get Ridley the ball at that point when they can't get him the ball with T-Law in there. So
That's what I was thinking. I like Ridley. I've been a fan all year, but I mean, it's really hit or miss with him, you know?
yeah. All right, broski.
All right, man. Thanks.
Later.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Eckler has been a bust. That's why he was one of the biggest avoids on draft day on this channel, which a lot of people don't understand the difference between trading for him now or, trusting him if you already own him and you're trying to navigate the waters of could he have a couple big games and then go off into the dark night. HN Gibbs Kamara, fantastic, Sam. How many HN haters do we got in the chat? I haven't been really looking at the HN chat hate lately. Let me hit these super chats here and get these out of the way. Joe Salters, T-Law hurt. Stafford, Geno, or Browning? I'd probably go Stafford, man. He's been on fire for 2 straight weeks. Joe, pick 2. Waddle, Olave, or Mixon. I'd probably go. Man, the moment you sit Waddle, he's going to just go off. But I would probably go Olave and Mixon. I think the way Mixon played, Bengals play at, are they at home or away? I forget. They're at home. Colts. Colts are a scrappy D, man. They are a scrappy D. I'd probably say, yeah, at the end of the day, bro, I'm gonna probably sit. Let me pull up Waddle stats here. I gotta refresh my memory on Waddle the last 3 weeks in a row, not just last week. Waddle's been kind of sketchy this year. He's had some big days. He's had no touchdowns in 4 straight games, though. No touchdowns in 4 straight games, but 8 straight targets in back-to-back-to-back weeks, though. 55 yards, 114, 52. Mixon had a very solid day in week 13, obviously, with 68 yards on 19 totes, 2 touchdowns, an additional 49 yards on 6 receptions. Now, the week prior, he had 16 yards. The week prior, he's had a touchdown, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns in 6 games. Indy's not a bad matchup. I'm probably. I guess you could go Waddle and Mixon. Guys, vote on this one. Waddle, Olave, Mixon. What 2 players are you starting? Waddle, Olave, Mixon. You can only pick 2. I'm going to set this in the corner and get your guys' vote. This is too close. I need your help. I have Achane and Kamara. Who can I drop for Noah Brown? T-Law, Walker, Hall, or Moss? I mean, if you've got if you think you got an inside track on getting another quarterback if things go awry, you could drop T-Law. You can't drop any of those other guys. You just can't. So you either don't pick up Noah Brown or you drop T-Law for Noah Brown because you believe and you know that you'll be able to grab another QB if you need one. Nico versus the Jets or Adams versus the Vikings. Nico's a tough play this week, for sure, because he faces the New York Jets in New York. Sauce Gardner and the boys, they're still a good passing defense, but at the same time, like, how do you sit him? We starting Nico at the Jets, people, or are we going with good old Davante Adams versus the Vikings? What's everybody think here? Kind of think you just go Nico, man. He's getting spoon-fed. He's a top 12 wide receiver. Go forward with Tank Dell. Bless his heart, man. Tank Dell down. I think Nico's a must start, like a start him and forget it, type of stud at this point. I have the most fab left. Running backs are Kamara, Brees, Madison. Start 2, full load drop on Zeke. Roshan and Gainwell also available. Probably full load drop on Zeke if you can even play defense on this one, bro, and keep another team from getting him. But if Mitchell were there, I'd do the full load drop on Mitchell instead. Ray G with a $10 hauler. Ray G, the man, the myth, the legend. Appreciate you, Ray G, dropping the 10 wad on screen. We got a Nico vote, an Adams vote. Stay away from Nico versus the Jets. You can't sit Nico. Nico. Listen, start Nico with confidence. We had a few Adams votes there for a minute, and then it just swung back in the direction of Nico. On Best Ball Mania 4 through Underdog, I have Fields, Stroud, Love, Bijan, Pacheco, Swift, Achane, DJ Moore, Amon-Ra, JSN, and Ingram. Would be nice to see Bijan go off. Yeah, Reggie, on the weeklies especially, the moment Bijan has monster games, I climb up the weeklies. I'm always I've been sitting at I was at 30th place for a little while at one point in one of my weeks where Bijan had a great day. Lost Tank starting Olave, Garrett Wilson with Downs and Shakir on the bench. Waiver has Elijah Moore, Mingo, Johnson, Washington, Hyatt. Who should I go get? I probably drop Shakir for, I don't know, these aren't great options. Maybe Elijah Moore. Hyatt I like a little bit. I think he could do something, but like honestly, Shakir for any one of those guys I guess makes sense, but none of those guys stand out as like guys I want in my lineup ever. So unfortunately, I hope there's a Keaton Mitchell out there, bro. Grab him. If he's not there, probably not there. $10 holler
to the moon.
Appreciate you with your 10 wad, my broski Tucker. If I win in the playoffs, I'm in the playoffs. If I win, I'm in the playoffs. I have Hurts, AJB, Olave, Kamara, Rashad, Taysom, McBride, Garrett Wilson, Lockett, and Ken Walker. Who should I flex this week? Is Watson worth the pickup even with the injury? Maybe, but depends on the drop. Like dropping one of those guys, absolutely not. I have Hurts, AJB, Kamara, Rashad White, Taysom, McBride, Garrett Wilson, Lockett, and Ken Walker. Who should I flex this week? I don't know who your lineup is, so I don't even know how to answer this question. But I would say Tucker. I'm looking at Lockett, Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson. If those are what we're talking about, McBride. After the slash, I think that's what you're trying to say. I would say probably Garrett Wilson. I mean, assuming Walker doesn't play. If Walker's starting and Charbonnet's out, I go Walker. So like a lot of things are dependent on injury with this one, but I mean, Garrett Wilson for the moment might be your best option. Can't believe it's come to this, but Garrett Wilson, Chuba, Hubbard, Singletary at my flex. Well, Pierce is kind of like getting a lot of work, so let's look up Chuba and take a gander at that one. Chuba Hubbard. I mean, 3 touchdowns in 2 games. 104 yards on 25 totes. How do you sit him in week 14? Granted, the New Orleans Saints are an okay rushing matchup, or a tough, like a medium to good rushing matchup. But, I mean, he's running back 11 in week 12, running back 6 in week number 13 last week. So the answer is Chuba. 6 and 7, have a lot of teams 7 and 6 on points. Yeah, you got to roll with it, bro. Alex with the $4.99 super chat. Alex, 10-team PPR, pretty much guaranteed playoffs. Herbert, Gibbs, Moss, Tyreek, Olave, Ingram, Nico, JT, Cup trades. I mean, I want out of Herbert, bro. I don't mind the rest of your team. Like, I don't mind even trading Nico high, or trade Zeke and I don't even mind with Gibbs and. You can't trade Moss. You got to bank on Moss. You got to bank on Moss and Gibbs. You got to bank on Tyreek, Nico, Olave. I probably bank on Olave, Nico, Ingram. I'm probably trading. I'd trade Garrett Wilson and Zeke for like a quarterback upgrade, like to Tua or something, or to. I mean, honestly, Brock Purdy's even better than Herbert right now, but I don't make a move if I'm not feeling like I'm upgrading. I'm not just giving someone Garrett Wilson and Zeke to move laterally. So it's got to be someone you believe in. Like Mahomes is very cheap right now. You could take a gamble on it, bro. I give up Herbert, Zeke, and Garrett Wilson for Mahomes. I would potentially give up an Olave. Like, let's say the Mahomes owner has another quarterback and they just want to get out of Mahomes. You could trade Olave straight up for Mahomes and say, you know what? I'll throw Cooper Kupp into my lineup with Nico and Tyreek and be fine. Alex, that's what I would do. I'm a little crazy, though, bro. Matt, appreciate you. Good God. Matt, how long did it take me to see this $50 hauler? Matt, are you still here? How long? Let me take a lap. How long does it take me to see a $50 hauler? It's sitting right in front of me. Matt, confirm you're still here. I'm sorry, bro. $20 hauler. Let's go. Whoops. Wrong button.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Matt, appreciate you. Can't believe. Oh, I did read this one. This is the one I can't believe. I'm sorry it took me so long to realize that was a $50 hauler. Where's Matt? Matt, you here? Jeez. I don't know what everybody said with Joe's. What was the consensus on Joe? Matt to the moon. Matt to the moon.
To the moon.
Can we get one more vote for Joe? Waddle, Olave, Mixon. Start 2. Waddle, Olave, Mixon. Which 2 are you rolling with? Where's Matt? Did Matt leave? Hopefully Matt's still here. Matt, hopefully that helped, bro. Garrett Wilson. Can't believe it's come to this. Garrett Wilson, Chuba Hubbard, Singletary. So definitely Chuba Hubbard, bro. He's on fire. I don't think Matt's here. Matt had to go flip the laundry over. Maybe the meatloaf was ready. Where's Matt? Where's Matt? Damn. I'm going to keep it on screen in case Matt comes back. Superfish with a $2 hauler. Drop Ridley for Christian Watson or Reed. I don't know, man. I don't think Superfish, I don't know that I'm dropping Ridley. And Watson's banged up, and I mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he plays. Who the hell knows? But I don't think I could cut Ridley. Ridley was, when Kirk went down, I literally said on the live stream, this could be a top 15 wide receiver to go forward. And then T-Law went down. And so T-Law might not be, you know, we'll have to see. I still think I'm skeptical of how they use him, but where's Matt? Is Matt here? Where's Matt? Matt, you here, Matt? I don't see him. Steve, someone dropped Aaron Jones. Should I get him? I would. He's going to miss probably multiple weeks, but, I mean, he could come back for, like, the last 2 games. Appreciate you. Yeah, I don't see Matt. I'm searching for him. Damn, Smitty dropped 50 and I don't get even to the moon. And then he said, that's weak, I'm out. Damn it. Matt, I didn't know. I was doing 10 things at once. I had like all these callers on the line. I feel bad, but I mean, like it was a common, you know, a lot of things going on type of misunderstanding. But he says, that's weak, I'm out, dog. And he bounced. Matt, come back, bro. You know I didn't mean it. I'm always there for my people. Poor Matt. I feel bad. I'm not even mad at him for his you know, comment because I feel bad, but like this thing goes. There's a lot of moving parts to a show, bro. You know, you gotta cut a boy some slack. I always come around to my super chats, but something happens and I don't even realize I didn't give him his moonshot. I mean, that's on me. I feel bad about it, Matt, but I'm sitting here talking about you and talking to you for an extended amount of time. You just aren't here for it is the only problem, Matt. We'll send him to Saturn one more time. Matt, thank you for dropping the $50 hauler. It was a common it's a mistake that happens, Matt. I mean, what can I do? What can I do? I mean, that was a quick trigger. You know, just boom, he's gone. Smitty was daydreaming about H-Han and forgot to hit the... Yeah, it happens, bro. It happens. Matt, hopefully Matt comes back. Let's put his super chat on screen so Matt knows is here. If Matt does... I could see him, like, pulling the stream up again to just see. Maybe they're talking about my super chat or something. Let's leave right there. Matt, where are you? Let's even put a little message up. Matt? Matt? You there, Matt? Unreal. Some people give me no benefit of the doubt either. It's like people have quick reactions to me. it's good. Real quick reactions. Short leash. I'm like Zach Wilson to you, Matt. Yeah, come on, a short leash. I messed up one time. Matt's out of here. He bounced already. Loves the show so much that he drops a $50 super chat because I didn't see it quickly enough. Because we had like 10 callers on the line. Matt bailed on me. I feel bad, though. You know, I'm trying to make it right. But, man, what a short leash he had on me. He didn't give me any time at all. We're still not even, we're an hour and 14 minutes into the show. People have dropped a super chat before, you know, at the very beginning of a show. And I you know, if we had a ton of news, I might have not got to it for an hour. People know you get in line. At this restaurant, it's like a nice restaurant. You get in line. It's a long wait sometimes. Sometimes you got to wait an hour for a table. But once you get in, the view's great. The food is great. The ambiance is fantastic. And you're happy you came. And you give me a very positive review on Yelp after you're done. Jeez. Someone let me know if he comes back. We'll try and wow him. Let's go over to TJ. TJ, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. Hope you're doing good. Got a question for you.
I was until I made Matt bail.
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
So I'm in a league where it's like quarterbacks get points for like a completion and then minus 1 point for incompletion. And then like the bonus is like a 40-yard passing touchdown, stuff like that. So I was wondering, do you think I should start Fields, Russ, or Browning this week?
Well, how many points did Browning score this week?
61.
How many?
He had 61. He was the highest scoring quarterback.
Wow, so he's really good for that scoring format, the way that he plays.
Yeah.
How many points? How many points did Fields score in his last game? What?
23.
Okay, how many did Fields score in his week? What was it, week 4 and 5? The two big games.
Week 4.
The two pop off games. Is that week 4 and 5, or is that 5 and 6? I forget.
Let me see.
Just look at their 2 weeks back to back. He would have had like 70
okay,
here.
yeah. Week 4 he had 56, and then week 5 he had 46.
So even in those big games, Browning us. Wow, you got to go Browning, bro.
Browning,
I mean, I guess that if Browning scored that many points, he only had 1 touchdown. He scored 60-something points in your format. Like I don't know your format, and it sounds to me like you kind of got to go some with what some of the trending is. You know, what did Russell Wilson do the last couple games in that format? It's a weird format. Can't even wrap my head around it.
Last week he had 23. Week before that, 22.
Yeah,
35.
Like even if Browning. Yeah, even if Browning does like a lot worse, he scores the same amount as if he does half as good, he scores the same amount as those guys. Like he literally didn't need the touchdown, he still would have outscored those guys. That's crazy.
For real. Yeah. And then so do you think I drop Fields or Russ then?
Probably Russ.
Yeah, okay. Because we can still trade. Maybe I trade Fields or something.
Yeah, try to. I mean, he makes big plays, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has some decent actually.
Jim has a good idea. Let's have Lego Batman find Matt. Matt, come back. Lego, get on that. Lego Batman finds everyone. Matt will be here before the end of tomorrow's show, if not today. All right. Anything else, bro?
Yeah, real quick. PPR, Warren or Chuba?
Warren or Chuba? I mean, Chuba's safer right now. He's got 3 TDs in 2 games and he had 100 and something yards last week. Like, how do you... I'm not saying it's like a... Like, I really want to say Warren, bro. I really, really do. Najee's not... He's banged up, so you got to monitor that. If Najee doesn't play, then we're going Warren. But his knee did not participate in practice. Najee Harris popped up on the injury report with a new issue.
Ooh.
So we'll have to see. If he doesn't play, then Warren.
Okay. You're not worried about the Patriots for Warren?
I mean, he's so good at catching the football. I'm not too worried about it, but I mean, it depends on.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends on what's going on. If he's just a lone starter, I kind of like him a little more. But Chuba Hubbard's pretty solid, bro. He's been pretty safe.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. He's been outdoing Sanders recently.
Yeah. All right, later, bro.
All right, thank you, Smitty. Have a good one.
Ziggy, show me the front door.
Okay.
Miss Smitty isn't even home yet. Smitty, show me Smitty. Ziggy, show me the backyard.
Okay.
Called him Smitty. Thank you, Jim, for the idea. That backyard looks great. Ziggy, show me the front door.
Okay.
252 caller. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Calling from North Carolina.
What's your name, bro?
My name is Daryl.
Daryl from North Carolina. What can I do for you, Daryl?
Well, I lost Tank and Kirk.
Sorry, bro.
And I got got AJ Brown, and I should have Jefferson back this week. My dilemma is I have the number one waiver. I'm in second place. Should I pick up Zeke or should I pick up Noah Brown?
Woo!
Like I say, I got Mixon and I got Gibbs as my running backs, and Gibbs scares me to death with Montgomery. So, I don't know what to do. I'm not really a big fan of Zeke, but I don't know, man.
Well, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I mean, Gibbs. He scares people to death for whatever reason. Which I'm not saying that people shouldn't have a reason to be like curious about what's going on, but like, he was on fire, man. He was running back 3, running back 1, running back 2, running back 3. Wow. God, when you look at that, it's like unreal. Running back 3, running back 1, running back 2, running back 3, and back to back to back to back weeks, bro. You don't think we should be not talking about, hey, worried. Zeke concerns me enough, or Gibbs concerns me enough. Should I pick up Zeke? It wasn't like you just said, should I pick up Zeke for backup, support. You were like, Gibbs scares me to death. Should I pick up Zeke? Are we really going to sit a guy that was running back 3, running back 1, running back 2, and running back 3 and back to back to back to back weeks prior to his last 2 games where he was running back 24 and running back 29? Let's be, honest about it. But I'm not sitting Gibbs. Yeah. But do I like Zeke as a pickup? Yeah, but I'd probably say give me Noah Brown. The problem is you got Nico, right?
Yep.
So are you gonna start both of them? I don't know. But hey, if one goes down, then you're secured there. Like the other one's gonna do a lot better. Tough call.
Yeah.
Tough call. I guess I'd ask myself, is playing defense and picking up Zeke gonna be better? With your opponents and what they need.
Yeah, or having Brown in the playoffs. I'm in second. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chat, give a vote.
I'm gonna go Brown.
Give a vote on that one. You want Noah Brown or Zeke Elliott if you're this guy and you have his situation. But you know what I'm saying? I just think people need to not freak out about Gibbs. I might even be doing a video.
I'm not.
Well,
I hate to let Zeke go. Go by without the chance. I don't know. Yeah.
But you know what I'm hearing a lot of the Zeke or the Gibbs panic. And I sensed a little bit in you because you say you're scared to death. That pretty much means you're worried about him. You said I'm scared.
A little bit.
Yeah, scared to death. Scared to death means you're worried about him. So I'm hearing so much of it. I feel like I need to do a beat a drum or beat a dead horse type of live stream on this because I don't think people remember what Gibbs was doing. But
I got you.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All
Later,
right,
Daryl.
Thank
Travis
you.
Rowe. What's up, Travis?
2 quick things. Would you rather have Gibbs and ETN right now?
I'd rather have Gibbs.
ETN's kind of, I was thinking so. Good. Baltimore and Tampa coming up too. So.
Am I a lit, like I'm not scared to death. I'm not, but am I a little bit like Worried's not the right word. Just frustrated, I think, is the better word for me. Frustrated at the Gibbs usage the last couple of games, maybe, but the game prior to this game, he had 8 targets. That's fantastic. So
Right.
He only caught 4 of them, but that was a good day from that perspective. So he only had 54 yards on the ground. He had 8 targets, 4 receptions. He still had like a decent day in a sense that he got like roughly 12 points, but the back-to-back mediocre game and bad game, because the next game last week he had 6.4. But keep in mind that Gibbs has a week 14 matchup here against Chicago. That's a fantastic matchup for Gibbs. He's also got Denver in week 15, and while he faces Minnesota in week 16 and Dallas in week 17, he is the definition of that RB that I feel is matchup proof, because he can do so much on the ground and through the air that he just pops off a big play at any moment.
Right, and I don't know. It seems like as of right now, anyway, ETN isn't quite matchup proof.
Ziggy's being loud over there. Yeah, ETN's solid. I don't hate. If you did the trade, I wouldn't call you crazy, but ETN feels like right now with that team in flux, without knowing when T-Law is going to be back.
Well, especially that, yeah.
I mean, let's be fair. During the same time frame, well, slightly before, kind of overlapping, Gibbs was blown up. ETN was running back 1, running back 2, running back 4, running back 5, in back-to-back weeks. That's awesome. And week 1, he's running back.
Do you think there's a chance they lean on him more? Or just that the QB play could be so bad that the defense could just.
Yeah, like I said on the beginning of the show, I know a lot of people want an injured quarterback situation to mean the running back's just going to get fed, but defenses come in the whole week preparing to let the pass win, let the pass beat us, and let's shut down. I will say though that ETN's been shut down pretty hardcore against tough defenses this year, except for one. Right. Yeah, no, not really. He has. San Francisco put him down to 6.4 points. He had 8.9. This is just one specific league I'm in. He's running back 38, running back 25, running back 20 in the last 3 out of 4 games. He was running back 11 last week. He did pretty well, but that was the Bengals. They're really easy against the run. He's got Cleveland, Baltimore, Tampa in his next 3 games, which are all really tough matchups. Really I go Gibbs, but you're not crazy to go ETN. I love him.
And then real quick, do you like Monty or Henry better right now? Kind of a toss-up, or
probably Henry at the moment, but that could change in a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
In a snap of a finger, man. I mean, Henry's like he's the anomaly though, which is really what's he even finishing as right now in scoring for RBs? Leaders, season stats, running backs. He's running back 6'7". It's really impressive that he's done it again. But he should not be paving the way for anybody to think that other RBs are going to do that. I mean, at 28, look what Eckler just did. Crap the bed. 28's the kiss of death.
Yeah,
Henry's 29. It's an anomaly.
If I wouldn't got him, I'd make sure I got Spears too.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
On both, but, all right, just real quick. I'm still rolling with Love, Howell, and Kyler. I obviously playing Love this week. Kyler and Howell are going to buy, and Love's been good.
Love.
And I'm looking forward, if I make the playoffs, Howell has a crap schedule. Would I be okay to drop him if I need to add people?
I mean, it depends what you're giving to your opponent. If your opponent's struggling, you can't just give him Howell if he has no quarterback.
None of the top teams need quarterbacks.
Yeah, then it's okay. It's okay. If you got to make moves, just win your games.
All right.
Thanks, later, man. Appreciate you. All right. Thanks, Travis. Hold on one second, Brandon. I'm going to come to you in 1 second. I got a super chat here from Mr. Mims $7.99 holler. Hey, mate, should I start Jefferson or Ayuk? I'm going JJ probably, but you're not crazy to go Ayuk. Does the chat disagree? Would anybody plug Ayuk in the lineup over JJ? I'm just not. If JJ's playing, that is, I'm not sitting him. Unless there's some sort of snap count, you know, like, hey, he's going to be very limited, like, then we'll circle back, right? But, you know, if he's playing, you're playing him. All right, Brandon, what's up?
Oh, what's going on, Smitty? I got a little bit of like an ethics question for you here. So, would it be frowned upon to pick up somebody off of waivers, kind of just so one of my opponents can't pick him up, or is that more of like a acceptable competitive aspect to fantasy?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it depends on your league. I've done it before. On my buddy, where we're just like cutthroat. You know, we're at each other's throats. We're putting money on the line, and we're just the kind of buddies that bust each other's balls hardcore. Like it's not anything like petty or what's that noise? Yeah. Wait, what's going on, Brandon? You got constant like in the background. What is that?
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
My back of my cell phone.
Okay. So I in that league, I went through, I think, 12 kickers one time. I picked up a kicker, and I went through, and I made sure the last one was the guy I wanted. I went through, and I dropped 11 or 12 kickers just in a row. I took all the kickers out because we were heading into a matchup. But that was that league where everyone's laughing, and there's no complaint. You couldn't go. There is no commissioner. Like the best league is one that doesn't even really have a commissioner. It's everybody unanimously votes on something to change it, or there's really just somebody that like will execute what the league's desire is. And there's like 3 commissioners, like 3 people are kind of co-commissioning it. That's the best league.
Yeah.
To have some kind of anarchy person at the top of it, I hate that. But if you're in a league where people are going to get all crazy about it, you could do it in a crafty fashion. I don't think it's unethical at all. They should pick him up.
I actually almost picked a guy up before this situation came up. You know, Love is on waivers right now, and the guy had Lawrence and Burrow, and that's who he's probably going to end up picking up. And I might end up facing him in the playoffs. But then again, I mean, you know, I wouldn't mind him as a backup to keep. So it's not like I'm looking to churn and burn, you know.
Well, pick up one of them, wait a little. Well, I guess they might trigger him to pick up the other. But no, I don't think there's a problem with that. That's his fault.
Okay.
That's his fault. He should have put a waiver claim in where he couldn't do that because you all get a chance in the pecking order of getting a guy, right? So that's his fault.
Yeah.
But, you know, he has a problem he can call in. I'll tell him. I'll break the news to him. I'm going to say, bro, we talked about this behind your back, and we decided that he was going to pick up every kicker and screw you out of a kicker for this week. And then we'll see how he takes it.
Yeah.
I'll tell him, though. All right, later, bro.
All right, later, man. Thanks.
All right, let's see here. Matt, are you there, Matt? Matt? God, I can't believe Matt got so mad at me. I mean, Matt really got mad at me. He didn't give me any leeway whatsoever. Let me see if he's in the chat. Matt, where are you? Man, Matt was pissed. Anybody sees Matt come back into the chat, you tell him I'm sorry and I'm waiting for him. I'll even let him call in. Matt, call into the show. I'm sorry, pal. Elliott is not worth the roster spot, says Nissan. I mean, I think it depends on the situation, but is he a guarantee of any kind? No. You know, it's like you can't even, like, no offense, Nissan, but like if he doesn't do well, like really even play that I told you so game, he's got like a 50% feel of busting, but he is the starter in New England, and he could punch in like 3 touchdowns in 4 weeks and have like, 40 yards a game and still be viable by falling into the end zone, but it is a horrible offense. Horrible. Ziggy, show me the front door.
Okay.
I don't know if Miss Smitty's home. Not yet. All right, let's go to a couple phone callers. Living Legend, you're live. You're probably one of the last callers here. What can I do for you, pal?
Hey, Smitty.
What's up?
Hey, Smitty, man. I need your help, brother.
Yeah.
What's up with Eckler, man? I've been out of the fantasy realm, but I got Eckler in both leagues, man.
He's 28 years old.
He been killing me softly, man. I don't know what's going on with him. I know you probably got insight, man.
Well, I mean, he's 28 years old. He's 28 years old. That's the kiss of death for RBs. This is a big concern. This is why he was a complete avoid on draft day. I still would trade for him, and I was a big advocate of buying him low because there still feels to me like there's upside for him to have a couple big games. You know, when someone's falling off and they still barely are holding on to that talent level, they can still have, like Cooper Kupp and Eckler could have one final voyage or two. And so I still believe in maybe playing him versus sitting him for like a flex play. But it's certainly, certainly one of those situations where there's definitely some panic. That's Miss Smitty pulling in.
Yeah, I appreciate
Ziggy
the
off.
insight, man, because the playoffs was coming up, and I was like, man, I might have to bench Eckler, man.
Well,
Sounds
who
crazy,
would
man.
you
Sounds
who would
like
you
something you would never do?
Who would you put in over Eckler?
I got people, man. I guess I still got Barkley, but I got Swift. I got a Chan. You know, I got these people that they're in my lineup anyway, based on flex plays. But I always had Eckler like this in my starting RB, spot, man. So I was like, man, I might have to just. I don't know, man. It's scary, man. I never thought Eckler would be this bad.
Well, call
you know what I mean?
in later in the week when we get closer to kickoff, and we'll figure out whether you should, what the vibe is, and if you should switch them out.
All right, man. I appreciate you, Smitty, man. You have a good night, man. I appreciate you.
All right, later, bro. Last question here, and then I think I'm out of here for tonight. We might come back and do a show. By the way, can I get you guys all to do me a solid? So I have essentially three. Let's see. I'm gonna have four YouTube channels. One of them is this main channel. One of them is the Dynasty channel. One is the sitcom, which won't have a lot of uploads. It'll be whenever one's created. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's because I posted the sitcom on the YouTube channel, and because it's not normal content, YouTube pulls the plug on pushing it to any of my followers because it doesn't match or mirror the fantasy football content. So that I guess nobody even knows it's there. I have an actual 5-episode sitcom. It's like The League. It's like The Office meets The League, and a lot of people don't know about it. So I created a channel for that as well. So that's my third channel. But it'll be whenever there's a new sitcom episode. So like maybe 3 or 4 a year. But we're going to grow it up and make it a nice little show. And then my fourth and final one. I brainstormed on this for about a good month, and I came to the conclusion of what I needed to focus on for the brand and what I had time for, because the fantasy football show comes first. Nothing's going to take away from this channel, including the Dynasty channel, but the Dynasty channel needs to be priority number 2. And so this year, starting January 1, my goal is to produce a video or a live stream, 1 a day moving forward. Dynasty channel is going to get a lot of love. Okay, so I need you to subscribe to the 2 channels that I'm going to drop right here, the 3 channels. Channel number 1 is a new channel that nobody really knows about yet, but it's going to be a behind the scenes, kind of like this is the day in the life, and a lot of you like the day in the life video that I posted. It's going to be a day in the life of the brand, and it's kind of like the real version of the sitcom. So the Fantasy Football Intern is a sitcom version of the brand. It's all satire. The World of Smitty channel is this one right here. So please subscribe to this channel. You may be subscribed to it already because I've had you subscribed. I think we called this the Smitty Report at one point, but it's very, very new. There's like 50 subscribers on it. So please subscribe to that channel right there. This channel right here is going to be about the behind the scenes of the brand and the channel. It's not going to be for fantasy advice. It's going to be for things like, what's...
Motion detected at the front door.
People at the front door, the yard people, me in the office, going through dilemmas, having problems. Think of it like a reality show. Think of it like you watch Dog the Bounty Hunter or Pawn Stars or something like that. That's what this show's, or what this channel is going to be called, World of Smitty. So please sub to that right there. That is going to be a fun channel, and it's not going to take up as much time as, let's say, trying to do a whole nother channel or something like that of fantasy football content constantly. So the only two channels that will have constant fantasy football content will be the Dynasty channel and the main channel that you're watching right now. The two other channels, the World of Smitty and then also the Fantasy Football Intern, will be very, very feasible of pushing those in. So again, please subscribe to this channel right here. This is the World of Smitty. It's a new YouTube channel. Let me refresh and see how many of you have subscribed. Okay, we got a good 20-30 people just did it right there. Hit it again. There's the link right one more time. Then I need everybody to subscribe to the Dynasty channel. You may think you're subscribed. You may not know that you aren't. But here's the Dynasty channel. I'm going to post this in here. It'll say Dynasty channel in the text right there with it. Hit that channel now, because we're going to go live, or I'm going to do a video upload live premiere style or whatever once a day going forward on January 1 with some teasers up until then. I'm not going to just wait till January 1. I'll have some uploads and videos. But the Dynasty channel, we're going to hit hard this offseason. We're going to hit it so hard. The Dynasty channel, the main channel, and then the World of Smitty and the Fantasy Football Intern. For anybody that missed any of this and they want to subscribe to all four and you don't have time to do it yet, on any one of my channels and any one of the four, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see all four of them. Okay? So at any time you want to find any one of my four YouTube channels, at any time, on any one of my channels, if you're on one versus the other, at the bottom, all four will always be listed on every single one of the four channels. So very easy to navigate back and forth between all the YouTube channels that I have, and there are four. I'll see you all later. I appreciate every single one of you. Matt, I appreciate you. I hope you see this and you know that we tried to find you. I tried my best, Matt, and I even answered the question in pretty good detail. I just didn't realize there was a $50 hauler until it came through. I thought it was a $4.99. It was just a clear, misunderstanding. Matt, I appreciate you, okay? I appreciate you, and I need you, pal. I need you. Let's see what World of Smitty has. World of Smitty, I'm going to drop that link one more time. World of Smitty has... Look at you guys. You guys almost got it to 100 subscribers just like that. Here's the link to World of Smitty. Subscribe, and I'll be putting the first video up within probably the next 48 hours about the brand and just different things. Probably some of it's going to be the yard. It's just going to be like a day in the life type of thing. Appreciate you all. Matt. I wish Matt was still here. All right, Matt. All right, appreciate you all. Hi, little Smitty. You wanna say hello? Say hello.
Hi.
Can you? What player comes to mind? Say a name.
I'm Molly.
What about Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, can we try the Joe Burrow helmet on? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Does that fit?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. All right. We'll see you later. All right. I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. Subscribe if you're new. And again, don't forget to hit this link. I'm dropping the link right this very second. That link right there. Hit that YouTube channel, World of Smitty. I'm going to refresh one more time, see how many subscribers we have. Look at that. You guys are like at 85 to 90 already. See you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. Hi.